They save our lives. Warriors of the pandemic. Work 24/7. Martyrs of the nation. Subjected to assault. Cruelty. Vandalism.
डॉक्टर के साथ पहले झगड़ा किया, झगड़ा करने के बाद रिसेप्शन में आने के बाद उन्होंने वहाँ पे कंप्यूटर फोड़े।
Now it's time to save our saviors. An initiative by ITV Networks, Medically Speaking.
Hello everyone, welcome to Medically Speaking. In the last few years, we have seen increased cases of violence against doctors. Compared to all other workers, workplace violence seen in healthcare workers is 4 times higher and hence requires a longer time away from work. It can be physical violence or psychological violence or a combination of both. It can be in the form of assault, bullying, mobbing, harassment, either sexual or racial or psychological threat. Medically Speaking has therefore taken an initiative to act upon this after the 75th anniversary of independence of India with an aim to achieve independence from violence against doctors. We have with us Dr. Prashant, convener of IMA Medical Students Network. Welcome, sir. My first question to you, since you are going to become professionals very soon, is it intimidating for you to think that you may have to face such a situation of violence in the near future? Is it demotivating for you because medical students have put in a lot of effort to achieve their goals?
Then it definitely, lowers your spirit in the sense that you would not expect that you would have to face it ever in your lifetime. As in, if you take any other profession for that concern, your job is secure with respect to your physical, attributes. In the case scenario, as in that you would not have to face violence from a third person whom you have no clue of. And this happens on a day-to-day scenario in our field, wherein every single day and every single hour, we get reports of violence of against doctors, meted out by relatives or maybe the closest of kin. And this is not something that is to be taken in the right spirit either. Definitely, go against it and stand for your rights so that you do not stand the loser at the end of the day.
My next question to you goes, what do you think is the probable cause of such incidents happening with the lifesavers, with who have battled across the pandemic?
Well, such incidents, if you get to see, it is more because of a miscommunication that occurs with the patient, and the relatives and the doctor fraternity as well. I would not just broaden it to the doctor fraternity, but then it's also every single healthcare worker that counts. From the staff nurse to the supporting staff who help you even take instruments. Every single person counts, and what they deliver to the family and the next of kin is what makes all the difference. And even otherwise, if you get to see the level of understanding, at the emotional breakdown, that is what again makes a huge difference and a paramount, feeling to it. Also because the family is going an emotional turmoil, and they will definitely feel loosened and grief stricken when the news of the patient being dead is being told to the family. And for them,
True.
the doctor is supposed to save the patient no matter what condition they bring the patient in. And this is more of a miracle that happens, as in if the patient survives, then it is the god who is attributed to, and if the patient dies, it is because of the doctor. So such preconceived notions that exist in the kith and kin, and that miscommunication, as in they're not able to understand the consent that's being delivered to them at such short notice, and the procedures that are being done, especially in an emergency scenario. So I believe these are certain factors that rather cause such trouble, and that is, what culminates at the end of the day at violence.
Right, sir. But what is your suggestion to probably your juniors or maybe the aspirants who want to join the medical field?
Well, if you ask me for, what advice I would render to my juniors, it would first be that they equip themselves with all the measures possible, in such a contingency. Considering the case that, such incidents might happen anytime in your lifetime and you never know when, you definitely need to be prepared beforehand to face such incidents. And I guess that should be part of the training as well. So the first in hand would be that
So
they, handle it with calm and
this
peace.
training should the institutes, medical institutes, would you get, is it a message for the medical institutes to include this training in their curriculum?
Well, it is already part of the curriculum. If you see the recent 2019 curriculum, which was redesigned by the National Medical Commission. So that again, has envisaged the importance of communication and ethics in the medical
Ethics.
practice.
Right.
So just to the NMC for that. And again, so if you get to see how far that is being, implemented in the medical institutions, then it is maybe a dismal number. And that is seeing a forward rise as days progress. And I'm sure maybe in the years to come, it will attain finality and improvements as well. So apart from that, if you get to see the communication skills that are to be rendered by the practitioner and the way they would handle that situation, it definitely needs to be with ease and peace. And they will have to, inform the emergency team, as in the police or the guards who would stay outside the intensive care units. And every single hospital is stationed with a guard. So I guess that is the first thing that they will have to do. And maybe because violence against doctors is something that has been happening for quite a few years now. And we've been demanding from the IMA for a Central Establishment Act against the perpetrators of the crime. And with respect to the COVID pandemic, the government has again instituted the Epidemic Act, and they've brought in perpetrators of the crime for imprisonment of a couple of years, of around 6 to 12 years. So rigorous imprisonment has been envisaged by the law as well. And I guess that law has to take its course. And when things go beyond hand, I'm sure, self-protection is definitely covered under the law as well. And every single medico and every single practitioner must take all efforts to get themselves protected first, whatever be the case. Irrespective of what the perpetrators of the crime are supposed to be doing, I believe that self-protection is ideal and they need to, take care of that first.
As a representative of the future doctors of the nation, what is your message to the layman?
To the layman, if you'd ask me, I would only say that the layman has to understand that the doctors are working for the welfare of the patient, and no doctor will definitely want to lose a patient for no reason. As in, a doctor is again rated by his success rate and the way he delivers patient care to his patients. And I'm sure that no doctor, would like to spoil his reputation for that concern. And doctors are being, preconceived as money minting machines, and as people who extract money out of the patient for maybe investigations or for consultations and all for flimsy reasons. That is all what the public has to say. But then that is completely not the case. And I'm sure that they've been driven by these preconceived notions, more by all olden age adages. As in that, someone goes and says that this doctor hasn't seen my patient well, and it's just a word of mouth that they turn and spread it out. I would rather say that they themselves go seek advice from the doctor and maybe clarify things from the doctor. And I'm sure no doctor would, lose patience to clarify things to their patients. And I'm sure that as doctors, we've been taught this for more than 5.5 years and 3 years of post-graduation and another 3 years of super specialty. And having invested 11 years into our practice, none of us would, want to spoil it by any means. So this is something that the patients have to understand. And, in whatever best that we can do, we always give it. And I'm sure that the patients have to understand this to the level best and support us at that crucial moment, rather than, opposing or losing confidence. at the point when they have to, give us their fullest support.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. I hope that we spread a positive message and we pledge to free the medical community from the attacks. Let us stand united against this violence this Independence Day. Show your support. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and visit our website www.medicallyspeaking.in. Thank you so much for joining us.
For the opportunity, and I'm sure that the Save the Saviors campaign from the IMA will definitely see the light of the day. And I'm sure that the days to come will be the best for the doctor fraternity and for the public as well.